Well, hello, my lovelies. How are you today? Happy New Year to everyone. Happy 2023. I want to wish everyone a wonderful and prosperous 2023 and beyond. I'm here today to talk to you guys about unrealistic expectations. Who here does not like it when people put their unrealistic expectations on you? I know I don't. I'm not a fan of that. I'm all for support. I'm all for my loved ones and the people I care about supporting me and being there for me. But what I don't like it is when people put their personas and what I should do or how I should think, or because they think this way, or because, they were raised this way, or, that's what you expect from me. And a lot of times we do have people that come into our lives that expect those things from you. They expect crazy things from you. And when you're looking at those people, you're like, really? Well, you putting something on me that's not something I want to do. That's not something that I want to do. That's something that you expect me to do, or that's a way you expect me to act, or you expect me to talk this way or be this way because that's what you expect out of me. I'm a firm believer in you accept people for who they are and you don't try to change them. And when you put unrealistic expectations on people, that's what you're doing. You're trying to change them to make them a creation of what you feel they should be instead of looking at them for who they are. It's okay to look at somebody and say, I see potential. You can do this. You can be, you have the potential to do that. You have the potential to do this. I've had a lot of people come up to me. I've had a lot of family members. I've had a lot of friends throughout the years tell me, Daria, you have your strength in photography. You're a good listener. I've had people tell me, well, you should go into doing, again, photography. That's one of my strong suits. I'm that one person in the family that when we get together, I'm taking pictures, I'm videoing. That's me. That's me all day. I'm the one that takes 40, 50 pictures at a family gathering, and I got video. That's me. I'm pulling out the camera. I'm that one in the family. And they're like, you always want to take pictures. But that's one of my passions. I like to take pictures. I like to memorize the moment. And that's how I like to do it. By taking pictures, taking video. That's one of the things I like to do. Like another thing, I'm very good with technology. So that's something else. I've had even my, and that's fine. It's okay, because even our parents do it. My mom do it, and I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that, because one thing I could tell you, most of the time, parents, when they say something, you might want to listen, because they can see things in you that you can't see in yourself. And my mom is one of those parents that she can see things in me, and I'd be like, okay, yeah. And you think, and then you had those moments where you think back and you're like, man, my mom actually said that and she's right. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay. But when I say, so let's get down to the real nitty gritty of unrealistic expectations. So we can use a relationship as an example. When you're with someone, the whole purpose of being with someone and, dating Is to get to know that person. You date that person, you get to know that person. You know, and a lot of times I've noticed, this is one big thing I noticed. And some people complain, when you're dating someone, that's why you're dating. You're dating them to get to know them. If a person tells you while you are dating them, this is an example, I have no intentions of being a housewife. I have my career. I want to continue. We get married. I want to continue to have my career. I want to continue to do for me. I want to continue to work. And I don't have any desire to be a housewife. I don't mind cooking. I don't mind cleaning. You know, I don't mind doing those things that needs to be done for the house. But don't expect me to stop working so that I can be your housewife. And then boom, you get married and your husband like, well, this is what I wanted. Y'all got on a date. Y'all had this discussion on a date. You and him at the time y'all were getting to know each other. And so during this time, y'all had this conversation. Y'all went from boyfriend to girlfriend, from fiance to fiance, to husband to wife. This whole time that y'all been dating, you been working, he been working, he got his career, you got your career. He know y'all got y'all didn't establish a routine since y'all been dating. All this. He knows this, but then all of a sudden, and I won't even say all of a sudden, a few months or maybe a year into the marriage, now he wants you to stop working. Even though y'all had this conversation before you got married. And that's what I'm saying. Unrealistic expectations. My thing is, if you wanted a housewife and you wanted to be with a housewife, then you should have just said in the beginning, well, as much as I like you and as much as I feel like we could be, I really want somebody that's okay with staying at home, that's okay with giving up her career to be at home and to take care of me in the house. And, it's okay if that's not an expectation for you and that's an expectation for him. It was okay for him to say, well, you know what, as much as we have it, because you can have a connection with somebody and not be, and that person not be for you. You feel what I'm saying? People don't get it that when you ask things of them that you're not willing to do, that puts you in an uncomfortable situation. You know what I'm saying? So y'all done had this conversation and now he want to change his tune. And then he want to get an attitude about it. That's not cool. That ain't cool. That's not cool. And that's what I'm saying. And I just use that example because sometimes that happens when you marry somebody, but it's not just about a marriage. It could be a friendship. It could be, even though our parents can see the potential in it, it could be them. It could be your mother, your father. It could be a sister, a brother. Anybody can put their expectations on you. And you're like, that's not what I want to do. It's just like, and yes, I'm going to say this because this fits the bill. I get it. Everybody has a standard for certain things. I get it. Pastors, preachers, bishops. I'm going to say this and leave it alone. For me, that pastor, that bishop, that reverend, the person that you go and listen to at church every Sunday is a human being. They're human just like us. You feel because they have a certain title that they have to live up to standards that you yourself may not even be living up to. But you expect your pastor to live up to it. Now, I can't speak for everybody else, but I know, integrity is key. So, and that's nothing wrong with that. So all I can tell you is that I feel like us as a society, we put so much pressure on preachers and reverends and bishops, and they're supposed to speak up to a certain standard because that's who they are. But y'all have to understand that before they were a preacher, before they were a reverend, before they were a bishop, before they had that title, before they got in that position, they had a life. Everybody got a past. They got a life. You know, they did things. You know, so before that title came, they were a different person. And just because a person becomes a pastor doesn't mean they're going to change overnight or they're going to become a different person. You know, and I know this is a sordid subject because I know, boy, I'm probably going to get, you know, a lot of, I expect it. But I will say, please keep your comments respectful. That's all I'm going to tell you. But yeah, I know this is a sordid subject, you know, and that's what I'm saying. And I'm not just saying it, like I said, for them, I'm saying it for everybody. It's unfair for us as an individual, for somebody else to put their expectations on us and expect them to actually abide by those expectations. And I can tell you, I'm speaking from experience. I know. I've been in at least one relationship where that person expected so much out of me. And I'm just like, you want too much. You asking me for too much. You expecting too much out of me. You know what I'm saying? And so at a certain point, I had to say, this enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? But like I was saying with the preachers and stuff, understand that before they became and had that title, they are human. Even in that title, they are human. You know, they're going to make mistakes like anybody else. I'm not saying that all mistakes are okay. That's not what I'm saying, because we all know there's been a few, we all know, you know, we done all seen some stuff in the past, and you know, in the internet with some with some reverends and some preachers, stuff like that. But again, human. And I'm tell you like this, some of the stuff I be seeing from some, I be like, what in the world? Like, I'm not gonna use it, but I'm not gonna name no names. But I'm just saying, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all probably know some of the people I'm even thinking about in my brain. But so I'm not saying that the behavior is okay. I'm just saying that we're human. We are human beings who wake up every day with a new chance and a new start to be different. I mean, not to be different, but to be better than what we did before, the day before. Every day is a chance for us to better ourselves. Everybody has something they want to change about themselves. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's not okay to just put your unrealistic expectations on somebody. Like I said, I was in a relationship and I had to let that go because that person wanted way too much for me. That person asked too much out of me. And then on top of that, the messed up part about it is that these people expect all these things from you, and then they don't want to give nothing back to you. They want to just take from you. And they don't, and then when you tell them that you expect something out of them, they don't want to give it back to you. So you want me to be a full-time housewife. You want me to stay at home. You want me to cook. You want me to clean. You know, you want me to cater to you. But what about me? You can cook for me sometimes. It's okay for you to clean up sometimes. It's okay for you to say, when you come home from work, it's okay for you to say, babe, you know what? You can take a break. You know, you can take a break. It's Friday night. Why don't you just chill? And you know, I'll do that. You know, and even like I said, it comes from anywhere. It can come from a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a husband, a wife. My thing is, don't ask me to do these things, and then when I ask you, it's, oh, I'm not supposed to do that. No, it's just like, it's like when you have a friendship. When you're in a friendship is quid pro quo. You do for me, I do for you. You know when somebody is your friend because y'all can talk to each other about everything. Y'all there for each other for everything. You know, y'all have a connection that you don't maybe have with other people. I mean, that's when, you know, I mean, for me, I can say I have really good friends. Mostly all of my friends have turned into my sisters. Okay, so like literally, I have a lot of sisters and I have great friendships with them. You know, and we just don't expect, you know, we don't expect things from each other that we know we can't give at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and that's one of the reasons why some friendships end, because you can have one friend that and this is one good example, every time they got an issue, you there for them. Every time they call you, you pick up the phone. You talk to them. You pray with them. You even, if they need you to come over, you go over there. You there for them every time they got an issue. But when it's your turn and when you need their support, they ain't nowhere around. You can't get a hold of them. And then even if you do get a hold of them and you start talking about your problem, they'll listen to you for a little while and then boom, go into their own issues. You know, when you tell them you need them to come over, they ain't nowhere to be found. They ain't trying to come over. That's not a friend. That's not a friend. So here it is. Again, unrealistic expectations. You're asking me to be there for you every time. Every time. But when I need you, you ain't nowhere to be around. That's not a friend. That's not even a friend. And again, that does fall into the unrealistic expectations because you're taking from me. You're taking from me. You're not being a friend. Here it is. I need you to be a friend and you're not even being a friend. I expect you to give me the same treatment that I've been giving you, and I'm not getting that same treatment back. And then when I call you out on it, I'm the one that's being selfish. People kill me. That is something I just be like, really? So yeah, I can say that I have, my circle is small. I can tell you that. But my point is, it is not okay to put unrealistic. If you sit down and you talk to somebody and they tell you, and you, like I said, whether you in a relationship with somebody or you talking to your kids and you tell them, and your kids tell you, mommy, this is what I want to do with your life, with my life. But you got something else in your head. You can't expect that child to do what you want them to do, because that's not what they want to do. You feel? That's not what they want to do. They have something else. They have their own dreams and they have their own goals. You know, and that's a big thing. That's another sort of subject that goes right into unrealistic expectations. You have some parents that want to live through their kids because they didn't get to do what they want to do. So now you want your kid to do that. And so you setting the unrealistic expectation and putting it on them because you didn't get to do this. You didn't get to, you know, play basketball or football. You didn't get to do, you know, go to the Olympics and be a swimmer. You didn't get to be an artist. You didn't get to be a fashion designer. You didn't get to travel the world like you wanted to travel the world. And you know, you didn't get to do some of the things that you wanted to do, or it didn't happen for you, or it's not happening for you at the time. So you put it on your kids. And that's not cool. Unrealistic expectations. It is not fair for anybody, whether they're your brother, sister, auntie, uncle, cousin, grandma, granddaddy, mother, father, whatever the case may be, stepfather, stepmother, it does not matter. It's not okay to put your expectations on other people and expect for them to fulfill it. And then when they come and tell you that's not what they want to do, get mad about it. Especially if y'all already had this conversation and you still expect it from them. Come on. Come on. That's not okay. That's not okay. And then, and this year and beyond, that's not something we should expect. If you expect something from somebody, you let them know, well, this is what I want, A, B, C. And then they can tell you, well, I can do A, B, but I'm not willing to do C. Because there's some things that people are just not willing to do. There's some things that you shouldn't even expect of that person, because for one, you probably already know they're not going to do it, because you know them well enough to know they're not going to do it. Okay? So that's just the fact. But I just really wanted to really get into that. And then y'all can feel free to tune in with me and chime in on me. Anybody going through this right now, feel free to voice your opinion. Feel free, but just keep it. All I ask is you keep the comments positive. Say something positive. Please don't get on here saying anything negative. I just want to, my goal this year is to get on here and just talk about life in general, different subjects and different things. And I'm going to bring up things that people don't talk about. And this is something people don't really talk about, you know, or is something that a lot of people talk about in their households, you know. And so I understand that. And it's not okay to put your crazy expectations on somebody else. And just because you didn't get to do the things that you wanted, it's not okay to, because that person doesn't want to do that. It's not okay to belittle that person. It's not okay to bash that person because they're not doing what you want them to do. That's not okay. That is not okay. That's called jealousy, and that's not cool. That's a whole nother subject, jealousy in itself. So that's not okay either. Yes, you can get mad because this person doesn't want to do what you're going to do, but you have to remember, just like you live your life and you did what you wanted to do, guess what? Your kids have to live their life. Your friends have to live their life. You know, your wife has to, you know, just because she's your wife, understand she was an individual before she, you know, y'all got married, and vice versa. If husbands, you know, same thing. You know, you want to realize that your husband, you knew him before you married him. You knew what he was going to give you and what he wasn't going to give you. You knew what you can expect out of him. And that's the thing. People know what to expect out of their friends. They know what they're to expect out of their, you know, from their parents. You know, I mean, I can tell you from experience. Again, everybody in my circle, I know how they is. I can say I know a lot of them so well that I pretty much know how they think. A lot of my friends that have now become my sisters, we've been friends for over 10 years. I literally have 2 childhood friends that I've been friends with, actually 3. So I've been friends with one since we were in the 1st grade. I've been friends with another since kindergarten. And then I got another friend that I've been friends with since I was like 10 years old. And we know each other. We know each other. Like, literally, we're sisters. One of my friends, the crazy part is, we had the same last name. And people literally, for the longest when I was growing up, thought we were sisters for real. And I would correct them for a long time. And I said, you know what? I'm not correcting them no more, because you know what? We are sisters. We are sisters. I'm 40 years old. I've been knowing her since we were in kindergarten. I've been knowing this girl for 35 years. Like, we've been knowing each other our whole life. I mean, so, you know, yeah, she knows me. I know her. I know what to expect from her. She knows what to expect from me. Vice versa with all the rest of my friends. You know, we know, you know, if we got something crazy, we, you know, if we don't even, we can maybe go to them with the idea of running by them. But you know what your friend gonna say. You know, you just know when you know the people you're around, You know what to expect and what not to expect of them. You know what to ask of them and what not to ask of them. Period. It's just a fact. And I must say, I am not okay with people putting their unrealistic expectations on me. And that's one thing I just thought about this. One thing that my dad used to do, and I had to correct him on this. When my nieces and nephews were smaller, my dad would call me and, we would talk about things. And I'm going to say it like this. He would say, oh, well, that's your niece, that's your nephew. So why can't you do that for them? Why can't you watch them? Or what's the problem with doing that? Well, guess what? I am just their auntie. I am not obligated to them. They are not my obligation. They are just my nieces and nephews. Yes, I love my nieces and nephews. Every one of my nieces and nephews know how I love them. And I will do whatever I can for them whenever I can do it for them. If that's, and I do things for them out of the kindness of my heart. But I'm not obligated to do anything for them because I'm their auntie. So don't throw it in my face and don't throw it in my face and say, oh, well, that's your niece and that's your nephew. So because that's your niece to your nephew. So what you trying to say? I'm obligated to it? No. Unrealistic expectations. I did not help them kids get in the world. They are not my responsibility. And yes, that goes into unrealistic expectations. And then another thing that people like to do with me, I'm going to say this because I'm using examples. I don't have no kids. So people automatically people when I was younger, will automatically say, oh, well, Derry, you don't have no kids, so you got the time. No, I don't. I got a life. I have a life. There's a reason why I'm the age that I don't care what age I'm in, whether I'm 25, 30, 35, or 40 right now. There is a reason why I don't have no kids right now. I'm not saying I still want to have kids, but it's the reason why I don't have no kids right now. And I am not obligated to yours. And don't try to make me feel like and then don't get mad at me. Because that's what you expected me to do. Because you feel like I ain't got no kids so I can watch yours. No, ma'am. No. I'm not the one I did not birth your children. Okay? Your children are not my responsibility. And you have no right to get mad at me for telling you no. Because I don't have to do it. If I don't want to do it, I don't have to do it. Okay? I have other responsibilities in my life, and that is not one of them. Because I don't have none of my own. Okay? I have godchildren. Okay? And guess what? I'm bothered with them when I want to be bothered with them. Just like my nieces and nephews. They already know what the deal is. You can call me anytime, day or night. I don't have a problem talking to you. But don't start asking me to watch your kids and then get mad because I'm saying no. You don't have the right to be mad because I'm not the one that chose to have them babies. You did. You chose to have them babies. I am not your ready-made babysitter. It don't work like that. It do not work like that. We don't do that. And that's unrealistic expectations that people will set on you. Your friends will do that. Your family members will do that. I done had it both. I done had it go both ways on both ends through the years. Okay, I can tell y'all that, and that is the big thing for me. Don't expect me, and don't tell me because I don't have no kids. I don't understand. Don't do that. Don't do that. Nah, don't do that. But don't get mad when I say no, because guess what? That's not my problem. That's yours because you expected me to be like, you thought in your mind, oh, well, Derry is single. She ain't got no kids. She not married. So, yeah, I can take out the time to watch your kids. Just assuming that just because I'm single, I don't have no plans. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Even if I didn't have no plans. Did I say that I wanted to watch your kids? Did I say that I wanted to take 2 or 3 hours out of my day to watch your kid. Maybe I want to do something else with my time, even if I'm not going out. How dare you assume that because I don't have no kids, that I'm just automatically available for you? That's not how it works. No, 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 no. No, no. And that's what I'm saying about unrealistic expectations. And another thing that fits that, I'll use another example, and this is a whole nother subject. You have your kids, we have our kids, and we expect our moms and our dads to become babysitters. No, that is not their job. It is not their job to be a babysitter of your doggone kid. Okay? It is not your job. Not their job. It's your job. It's not their job. It's their job to be grandma and granddaddy. And to have their grandbabies when they want to have their grandbabies. Not when you feel like going out with you and your husband. Or you and your boyfriend. Or you just want to have a night out. And then you get mad at your mom or your dad when they say no. That's not unrealistic expectations of people. That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. And then you want to get mad because they said no. And yes, I know some people might come for me in the comments on that. And, you know, I'm not trying to offend anybody. But I'm just saying, it is not okay for you to put your unrealistic expectations on people. Listen, your mama and your daddy are not obligated to be parents to your kids. They have already been parents to you. What makes you think they want to be parents all over again? No, no, no. My mother, I am 40. My mother is 68. She going to be 69 years old. I don't have no problem saying that. Listen, I know that once I get married and have kids, I know that I better be ready to be a full-time mother. And I know that my husband need to be ready to be a full-time father. Because I'm not, yes, my mama want grandbabies, but I do not. My mother has already let me know. I do not expect her to be a full-time ready babysitter. That ain't her job. Because guess what? She already did her job in raising me. So it's unfair for you as her daughter or her son to ask your mom or dad to turn around and be a mother or father again. No, they were a mother and father to you. You had a good life. I can say for me, I had a wonderful life growing up. I had a wonderful childhood. My mother was and still is the best mother in the world for me. One of the best. I can tell you that. I can't speak for other people, but I know she's a great mother. And I wouldn't dare expect her to raise my kids. Yes, I would. Everybody needs a village. I will say this. My mother is going to be a part of my village. Do I expect her to every time I pick up the phone and say, "Ma, do you want to keep your grandbaby for the night? Or do you want to keep your grandbaby for the weekend?" Do I expect her to say yes every time? Absolutely not. And if she don't do, am I going to get mad about it? Nope. So again, that ain't no different from when somebody like me is single with no kids and you expect them to be like, "Yeah, I'm going to be your babysitter." No, I am not. I do not. That is a pet. If y'all don't see by now, that is a pet peeve. And I've had, listen, this has been done to me. It was done to me a lot in my 20s. And I had to dead that. Because I'm like, nope. Y'all gonna stop coming to me like I'm obligated to watch y'all. This is not that. No, we're not doing that. So I just want to say, I want to encourage people to not put unrealistic expectations on your friends or your family members. You know, have a conversation with them. Be respectful of them. You know, and you wouldn't want somebody to do that to you. So why would you do it to somebody else? That's not okay. That is not okay. It is not okay to do that. It's just not okay. If somebody is voicing it to you and telling you, "You keep coming to me for this," and I'm telling you no, and you keep doing it, unrealistic expectation you're trying to set on them and put on them. That's not cool. That is not okay. It is not okay to set your expectations. And then I've even had it where, you know, that happens. And it's just not cool. It is not okay to put your expectations on other people. And then get mad at them because they not fulfilling it. Maybe, have you ever thought maybe that's not maybe not only is that's not something they want to do, but that's not what they being led to do with their life. We have to let people live their life the way they want to live it. You live your life and you still living your life. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm living my life. I do what I want to do. Okay? Unapologetically. Okay? Okay? So just don't do that to people. It's not okay. And like I say, I know that some of the subjects, some of the things I brought up, I don't mean to offend anybody, but I'm just putting the facts out there. Just putting the facts out there. And like I said, I want to stress, it is not okay to tell your friends that because they don't have no kids, or your cousins or whatever, because that particular person don't have a kid, oh yeah, so it's your obligation. No. The same thing with, again, your parents. Expecting them to be ready-made babysitters. No, ma'am. When you have kids, you need to have a system in place. You need to have it figured out. Who gonna watch your kids? Do you have a babysitter? Are you gonna have a nanny? Period. This don't just go for me. Don't just assume because you have a best friend or you have a family member like me that, oh yeah, I can call her and she gonna, no, absolutely not. And the same goes for your parents. Because guess what? A lot of our parents in their prime. So, I just told y'all how old my mom is and how old I am. So, I mean, at the end of the day, no. I would not expect that from my parents. I just show, and given the fact that my other parent is in a whole nother, listen, I don't expect, he in a whole nother state. I don't expect that at all. No. Both my parents have listen, we all got our own lives, okay? I cannot stress that enough, okay? We have our own lives. And one thing I can say about my mom and dad, they have always encouraged me to live my life for me. You feel what I'm saying? I can say that, and my mother, again, biggest supporter. But I just, and it's things she don't expect of me, and it's things I don't expect of her from her, because she knows she ain't gonna get it from me, and I know I ain't gonna get it from her. And that's what I know, that once I have some babies, not to expect her to be 24/7 available, because that's not gonna happen. And it's just the same if you got a friend or family member like me that don't have babies yet. That's not okay to do. That is not okay to do. It's not okay to put your unrealistic expectations on people and then get mad at them. No, I didn't have this. I'm not just speaking because I've seen this. No, I've had this happen to me. Okay, I've had this happen to me several times. Especially what I was saying earlier about the thing with the babysitting. I've had that happen several times. Okay, and I've had to shut some people down. Don't do that. I am not. Listen. I am not the one. And I am not that one that would allow you to put your unrealistic expectations on me, regardless of what it is. It can be whatever. That you're not finna do that. Like I said, I was in a whole relationship with somebody, and I had to break up with that person because I'm like, you doing too much. You want too much. You wanna keep asking me to do things for you and don't want to give, and then you don't want to give in return. You want to take, and that's another thing that people that put unrealistic expectations on you, they expect for you to do it, but then a lot of times they don't want to give you the same thing in return. They want to take from you, stressing you out, frustrating you, but yet they don't want to give when you ask of something from them. Then now you look, now I'm crazy. Because now you didn't set up here and you didn't ask them for something that they can't fulfill. But you did it, and then they got the audacity to get mad about it. Or they can fulfill, but they got mad because you asked them. And sometimes it be that case that They'll do it, but they just don't want to do it from you, for you. But they expect you to do for them, and they expect you to do. No, that's not. No, that's not how that works. So I just want everybody this year to think about, what are you asking of your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your fiance, your wife, your husband, your mother, your father, your cousin, your brother, your sister, your best friend? Is that something, before you ask that of them, is that something that you know that they're okay with doing? Is that something you know? Think about it before you, if you know that that is something that they are just not going to do. It could be something that you want them to do. It could be something you want them to say. It could be anything. Unrealistic expectations can be anything. It could really be anything. So I want you to really think about it this year before you go to your people that you care about and loved ones. People, think about what you're asking of them before you ask. Think about it. If you know that that's something, even running it by them, even if you feel you're gonna run it by them, and they say no, don't get upset about it. Don't take it personal. You just know that's not something they're gonna do. Period. So just 2023, let's just make it where we don't put unrealistic expectations on people. So I just want to say, I want to wish everyone again a happy new year. Have a wonderful 2023. I hope everybody, I'm wishing that everyone that watches this video, that hears my voice, I'm just praying for you guys, and I'm praying that everybody has a prosperous year. I'm that type of person, I want everybody to win. So I just wish all of you guys blessings, love, peace, and happiness to you all. I just wish you all a happy new year, and blessings, love, peace, and happiness to everyone. Y'all have a good day. Have a good weekend. Love you guys. Thank you for listening. And I just want to say again, blessings, love, peace, and happiness. Please like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Toodles.